Everybody's very, very sensitive. One other thing, the ball field in Los Angeles, Dodger Stadium. There's nothing less sexually oriented than baseball, all right? I used to like baseball. It's totally boring, takes way too long. I know they changed the rules. It still stinks. The players get paid way too much.
This is pro-Trump outlet host Greg Kelly of Newsmax.
I want nothing to do with it anymore. And even less since they have LGBTQ night at Dodger Stadium and ballparks all over the place, right? The rainbow flag, bring out the rainbow flag. There's nothing gay about baseball.
Really nothing? Many took Kelly to task on this. A Twitter user by the name of Gay Baseball Fan put out photos captured of players grabbing the other's crotch area. It wouldn't end there, though. Infield Fly Girl posted this video of the Washington Nationals celebrating, though this just feels like humans having a good old time.
Grab ass. Grab ass. It's by far the most homoerotic of the sports. Yeah. By far.
More than football?
Oh, totally. It's just as far as like the culture of it, yeah, with the ass.
The culture.
I don't know, the ass slapping, and they're always rubbing their bats with things and touching bats, and they even make the coaches with tight pants and everything. Now, baseball's just
like Lou.
They're always holding a big stick.
Oh, that's why Freddie's not wearing any pants.
No, baseball. Oh man, the stuff
He
I've
has a
seen
vivid
in
imagination,
baseball
Jay, really.
clubhouses. No, I mean, come on. I mean, I've seen it in dugouts. Mike Jerschley, the manager.
Oh yeah.
And I realized I had the tape recorder. I'm sitting there on the bench. I'm doing a little pregame interview, again, usual and I got the tape recorder sitting on my knees as I'm talking. And I realized the tape recorder just got a little heavier because I had my head turned to the right. And I looked down, and the manager of the Rockford Royals is standing with his package flopped on top of my tape recorder.
The legendary Bors and Bernstein show would discuss further.
John McNamara, remember him?
Oh, God. Fergosi was always shirtless.
Yeah, red-faced man. John McNamara, oh, my God.
Zimmer.
Zimmer would like to run around the locker room naked. Chase Bernie Lincecum once naked. Jay, it's just something about them that's a little bit off kilter.
They're disgusting is what it is.
Yeah, maybe it's disgusting. But they're more likely, like if you turn around, there's more likely to be a naked baseball player behind you than any other athlete.
Another user named Kennedy wrote, "Then why does my Pornhub history look like this?" with the following photo.
It's ridiculous. And guess what? The trans nuns were disinvited, and now they've been reinvited because, well, the trans nuns, they raised a big stink about being disinvited to gay night. Now, these are special trans nuns. These are the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Wow. I've heard of the Sisters of Mercy, but the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, what is it they do? Who are these people?
As we have covered, Kelly and the right are ticked. The Los Angeles Dodgers reversed course on their decision to host, cancel, and re-invite the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, whose past work dates back to 1979 in response to the AIDS crisis, when gay men, who their faiths and families had abandoned, were sick and dying. The Sisters were among the first to raise money to help care for people with AIDS and to create and distribute safer sex information. The 501c3 charity raises tons of revenue for marginalized and disenfranchised communities across the country. They support other groups, including several mainstream churches, in their work. The sisters are regularly called upon to minister to the sick, the dying, and the mourning. Even after all this good, Kelly does not care, which shows the right-wing mindset in a nutshell.
It looks pretty much like a perverted scam. These are not nuns, and it's all a mess.
To you, it's a mess. To a hateful bigot like you, Greg Kelly. There was one tweet I loved from Stephanie, who wrote, "How many games with an LGBTQ plus theme? 1. How many games without? 161. Get over it. Let the sports-loving gays have a night out. Stay home, loser." Outsports, as Ken Schultz wrote in response, "The whole reason for this tirade in the first place, and there's nothing gay about baseball, was exactly what we expected. Glenn Burke, Billy Bean, TJ House were but a simple Google search away. Of course, in writing that sentence, I realize I'm making the assumption that Newsmax anchor and research would ever appear in the same sentence. Out.com even reported the success last year. Over 18,000 Pride Night ticket packages, a record for ticket sales for an LGBTQ plus Pride Night at a sporting event. Dodger Stadium has a capacity of 56,000. So that means a third of the people watching the game bought tickets because of Pride. An employee of the Dodgers, Eric Braverman, even got married at the stadium in LA in 2022. Outsports wrote, in a nod to baseball's best uniform design, the grooms both wore Dodger blue tuxes and strode in from center field, walking under a sign reading Blue Heaven on Earth. In April, the Padres hosted Out at the Park. Kelly made no mention of this. Via Petco Park Insider, come show your San Diego pride at Petco Park and join the San Diego LGBTQ plus community on April 14th, 2023 for the Padres annual Out at the Park event. Your ticket purchase includes a ticket in the Out at the Park sections, a commemorative Out at the Park Padres hat, and a $10 donation to San Diego Pride. More from Schultz. Kelly's nonsense is a typical example of how right-wing media's perpetual outrage machine preys on its audience's emotions when a sport like baseball transgresses against Newsmax's orthodoxy by celebrating the sisters and denying anti-gay bigots a victory. Media figures like Greg Kelly go into attack mode and command their audience to turn the full focus of their hatred against the game. Once he and his colleagues repeat this order enough times, it becomes a choice. Their viewers can either have their favorite sport or the media voices who reinforce their reactionary worldview. It's a cynical power play, and its effect is quite sad. The only surprising thing about Kelly's screed was that he neglected to declare MLB too woke, which is why he'll never get called up to Fox News.